So there's my ingredients, all set there. I want to make sure the recipe is clearly written. Before I did this lesson, I tested the recipe out. I looked at it and said, okay, does this look like it'll work? And it works. It's in a cookbook, so you know, it probably works. That's why they put them in cookbooks. But you want to make sure that your outline is complete. You want to make sure your recipe is complete, and that you understand it. Otherwise, it does not make sense to you. 3 and 4 on this. A good recipe prevents horrible experiences. I would not want to put wasabi in my waffles. Wasabi waffles would not be quite good because it has wasabi.
Awesome.
They might be.
Wasabi?
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried, okay. So maybe it would be good. But I know that waffles are sweet and delicious and fluffy, and I know that wasabi is insanely spicy and hot and makes my eyes water. And I don't want my eyes to water when I'm having a waffle unless I'm crying because they're so good. But you want to know what you got for ingredients, and you don't want any horrible experiences like super spicy waffles, unless that's your thing. Alright, so our recipe. You have this. There's the dry ingredients. I've got all these things. I actually did not get the half cup whole wheat pastry flour. I don't cook with whole wheat flour that much, but I didn't want to buy it just to do this demonstration. But I do know that I can substitute whole wheat pastry flour with a little bit more of the unbleached white flour. So you have some leeway. Like writing an essay, if you don't have one thing, you can put in a little bit more of another, and it'll make sense. However, I could not substitute baking soda with the unbleached white flour. Baking soda serves a different purpose. I need the baking soda. I can't replace the cornmeal with the flour, because that serves its own purpose. So you want to make sure you can switch some things out, but some of these things have just got to be in there. You can't do without them. So there we go. We have the wet ingredients. That's eggs and milk and oil. So we'll get to those in a little bit. Part of explaining terms you might be unfamiliar with, flaxseed. Has anyone heard of it before?
I've heard of flax.
When have you had flaxseed before?
Isn't it like high fiber?
High fiber? It might be.
A lady at my church likes to put that in everything.
Yeah. Well, what it's good for, this is what it looks like in the field, which I didn't know. It looks rather pretty. And this is it as a seed, and then it gets ground up. And usually when you eat it, it is ground up because you cannot digest these tiny seeds. They're really small seeds, they're like that big. And you can't digest them in time for them to be good for you. So you grind them up, and then you digest them faster. That's what they look like. This is them right here. It says milled flaxseed. Milled means ground up in that case. So there's flaxseed. That's part of defining terms you might not know. I wanted to know what this ingredient was before I put it in the waffles. You want to know what words or terms or ideas you're using in an essay. Okay, here's our recipe. It's actually printed out on this sheet. If you look at the back of the sheet, it has tips for making waffles and pancakes. We're not going to deal with that at all, but I thought if you ever want to go home and make waffles or pancakes, you can use some of those tips. So here's our recipe. You can follow along with it as we go. I'll probably actually ask you to help me out with it because then I don't have to spend time looking at my sheet. So writing a thesis. Thesis is what in the essay?
The main point.
What it's about.
That's the main point.
Main point, argument, yeah. Okay. So, thesis, say what you intend to do. What is my thesis as related to making this breakfast food here? What am I doing? I'm making waffles. Yeah. So I've said what I intend to do. And why are we making waffles?
So we can eat them.
So we can eat them, and why are we doing it in English class?
So we can learn how to make a good essay.
We can learn how to make a good essay, yeah. Alright. Make sure other people can easily understand that. I just asked you, you told me what we were doing. If you are writing an essay, you can have someone read your essay and say, hey, does this make sense? That's always a nice thing to do. They can give you feedback. Be specific about what you're making. We did not say we were going to make a breakfast food. We did not say we were going to make something like a pancake. We did not say we were going to make something that is like a French crepe but fatter with little squares. We said specifically, I'm going to make a waffle. I'm going to make waffles. Alright, organization. And here's where we get into the actual making. So you want to add things in the right order. So I've got to get to my adding things position.
Are your hands clean?
Are my hands clean? I think so, but actually, I had that thought in school. It's a little bit dirty because there's a lot of people here, and some people come when they're sick. And so I brought some non-latex gloves. No one has allergies, right? Any food allergies?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Are you really?
Yeah, but I eat and drink everything that's dairy.
But so could you eat these and you will not be sick?
Yeah.
Okay.
What being sick is making
Okay. So, well, there's varying degrees of it. So I do have these gloves, which I will wear, which will make this a hygienic process.
Whoa, I just totally had to do
Okay. Here we go. Oh. I also want to make sure I stay nice and clean.
Chef Collins.
Black is a very masculine apron. Very
You don't have one that
strong.
says kiss the cook?
There.
I don't
No.
think that'd be appropriate.
That would not be appropriate, yeah. Now, black, I thought it was a nice strong, because we are strong waffle
Keyword
makers
is
in
apron,
English.
not black.
Alright, so, gonna add things in the right order. I'm gonna put this right over here. Alright, so I need, let's take these things out. Alright,
Scalpel.
that's my bowl. So, I need flour. How much flour do I need?
1 1/4 cups,
Plus the
1 plus a
half
half cup, so 1 3/4 cup.
Oh, we got some math people. Yes, 1 3/4. My cup set does not come with a 3/4 cup thing, so I'm going to use this, and then I will try to fill it once all the way, and then once 3/4 of the way.
Or you
That'll
can use a
probably
quarter
be
scoop
good.
3 times.
Huh?
You can use a quarter scoop 3 times.
I could. I don't know if I have a quarter. I might have a quarter scoop. Okay. Maybe I have a quarter scoop.
That's fine.
No, I have a half one. I'm just gonna fill this 3/4.
That's rough.
Actually, if I mess up a little bit, like it's, not 3/4, it's like
You can add it.
5/6. Actually, I don't know if that's the same. I'm not a math person.
It's not the same.
It's not. Was it more?
That was a little bit more,
It was a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. So if I have 5/6, then it's not so bad.
He's an English teacher.
My dad's really good at doing those
7.5.
conversions because he does woodworking and he converts all the time in fractions and stuff. So he's really good at it. I did not inherit that from him. All right. So we got the. What's next? I got the flour.
2 tablespoons of sugar.
2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, who's cooked in here before?
What?
Who's cooked before? Okay, so these people know this, but for those of you that have not cooked, tablespoon, teaspoon, tablespoon, teaspoon, teaspoon, tablespoon. You want to make sure you get those right. If you mess it up, you get some weird food.
They're usually labeled.
Just so you know. Alright, I actually had to bring sugar in 2 containers because I was running out. Okay. I got enough sugar. So 2 tablespoons of sugar, correct?
Yep. You can always add more sugar if you want.
We want these to be moderately healthy. We want
Why?
to take care of yourselves.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's well-being.
what's next?
1 tablespoon baking powder.
Okay, and what's the next thing on the list?
Half teaspoon baking soda.
Yeah, baking powder, baking soda. That's another common stumbling step. You don't want to mess up your baking soda and your baking powder. So I've got baking powder,
You need
and
1
I
tablespoon.
want 1 tablespoon. Alright,
PBS.
so there we go.
10 bags squared.
And then I want, was it
Hey,
a teaspoon, half a teaspoon baking soda.
Yeah.
Alright, half a teaspoon. There's a quarter.
They don't play cat dog either. I love cat dog.
There's a half a teaspoon. And you always make sure that they're leveled off evenly, you don't round it over. That would not be the right measurement. What's next?
You got about a teaspoon of salt.
Oh, a teaspoon of salt.
It
I
is.
skipped a step. Okay. And actually, the other day I forgot the salt, and you can do okay without salt. Salt just kind of adds a little